Very good afternoon to all of you who are now tuning in or about to tune in. This is Christina Teng from Body, Mind, Soul Live Talk. And this is marking our Live Talk number 18. So I'm still waiting for some viewers to come on board. Very good afternoon to all of you. The Saturday over here in Malaysia has been quite not many sun appearing. Yeah, a lot of clouds. So I'm not too sure how is it over there with you, wherever you are. So for all of you who are very new to Body, Mind, Soul Live Talk, it is a platform where we wish to really spread more positivity, spread more love, spread more light, and also to support all the community walking through whatever that you are walking through together, so that we are never alone. And I have someone who is here. Hi, Eva. It's been long. Never see you for quite some time. How have you been? How is your day? And how are you, Eva? Very nice to hear you. Always I say, Christina love engagement with all the crowd, so if you are very first time with us, drop a hi to me or say hello with me so that I know who you are. So far I've been connected with very well with all my friends and family. And here we are, Ching. Hello, Auntie Ching. How are you? Thank you for supporting. It's the very first time, and yeah, let's talk a little bit more later. Yeah. So a little bit introduction. Welcome to Body, Mind, Soul Magazine Facebook page, or if you are watching this from Body, Mind, Soul Festival, another good afternoon to all of you over there who are live from Body, Mind, Soul Festival platform as well. So magazine has been existed in the market since 2014. So this year is our 6th-year anniversary. And we have been doing a lot of live talks since the whole entire situation has changed. We cannot go on ground. We can't really organize on-ground activities. All this while, all these talks or sharings or experiential, it has been on ground with a lot of our followers as well. But since things have changed beginning of this year, we have gone live most of the time. Yeah, so it has been continuing since May. We have been doing this. So the whole idea is to really create a better world for all of us after all. And also to let everyone know, that there's always a support out here somewhere, that if you just need someone to hear or just need someone to listen to you, join us every Saturday, because we have different topic every Saturday, and all these topics are also kind of like go along with the current situation. So this month specifically for September, we are looking at about authenticity. Yeah, authenticity. So that's why yesterday, my Friday live talk, the topic was be yourself. And today we are here to discuss a little bit more about what? Never mind. I will share a little bit more later. But let me just pull out some of the comment over here. Eva, I'm fine. Sorry, long time not here because every Friday I got Zumba class. How are you, Christina? Wow. You know what? Picking up dancing is something that I really wish to do, and I've been owing my friend to go for a Thursday class. Eva, don't be sorry at all. As long as you are here, you can always watch the live after that as well. So don't worry. But I've never gone to the class, and later I'm meeting her. So I hope she will not knock my head. But you know what? I hope you enjoy your Zumba class. So don't worry. So today we are here and it's also, it took a lot of courage for all of us to discuss today's topic, growing a family with LGBTIQA child, together with Jean Michael Tan, right? Definitely, it takes a lot of courage for both of us, right, to openly discuss about this. But at the same time, you know what? I feel sometimes it's time to make a change, see things a little more positively, see things a little with more love. And we are here to really listen to Jean and share with us how he goes through what he has went through and what is his realization and his message to all of us here. Let me see. I have Shawal saying hi. I have Tracy saying hi. Looking fabulous as always. Thank you. I know sometimes this kind of comment just make me want to flip my hair before I introduce our speaker. I hope I also entertain anyone who is watching now. Yeah. So this is the host. Yeah. Christina is going and is always walking the path of being authentic and be myself. I'm learning every day as well. All right. So I believe our speaker is ready. Are you ready? Give me a sign. Jean Michael Tan. All right. So everyone, my style is put your hand together, even though it's virtual. You know what? Participate, because if you participate, if you comment, you will really engage with us and you will get more from the talk. Even though it's just a talk, sometimes the speaker share tips, sometimes the speaker share practical tools, but participate with us, even though we are a screen in front of our screen. So put your hands together and clap together with me, or put all the emoticons on the screen now and, welcoming our speaker of the day, Jean Michael Tan, co-founder and Heart-Based Group and managing partner of GM Tan and Company. Here we go. Hi, Jean. How are you?
Hey.
Are you still nervous?
Of course not. What? I can't believe we're even talking about this right now.
Well, it's always nice to have this topic, because growing a family with LGBTIQA child is something that not many have experienced, because and also it's not something that we are aware, but it's the time to truly bring more awareness. And I believe, from all the pointers that you have shared with me, I believe this will help a lot out there who are currently going through what you have went through before, or searching for something. So really, I'm very grateful to have you here, Jean. So another introduction, former one, Jean Michael Tan, co-founder of the Heart-Based Group and managing partner of GM Tan and Company. So Jean, before we proceed with our topic, let's just share a little bit of yourself in terms of profession first. Let's go from there.
Well, I'm a practicing lawyer in Malaysia, and I have been practicing in Malaysia for, I think I got called in 2009. Mm-hmm. So before that, I was working in the legal industry, but it was in Hong Kong and UK. So more on an assistance role, So I've had my firm for the last 8 years. Basically, we do corporate commercial, debt recovery and employment, but we take on a lot of cases for women, and particularly for most of our female clients. In this case, are divorce cases, and a lot of them have actually been abused. So we represent a lot of these people. On top of that, also we have a legal aid clinic that we run for people living with HIV to look at workplace discrimination and how to tackle them with their employers. On another separate thing, I this year registered a social enterprise called the Heart-Based Group. Next month, my article will be coming out about how to build a heart-based business under the Bodymindsoul magazine.
Yes, it's in October issue. Our October volume is the dawn of new day. So yeah, Jean, thank you very much for writing such a good article for us, and I can't wait to read it.
So, that's basically it, me professionally.
Okay, so you know what? I just stopped you here a little bit because I have a lot of comments flooding in as well. Tracy is saying, haha, you should constantly flip your hair. Okay, I'll do that, Tracy. And Lau is saying, hi, Christina and Jean. A lot of hardship, a lot of shouting. And Catherine from Dubai. Hi, Christina, and hi, Jean. Hi, Catherine. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for watching together with us. So, Jean, in your introduction on our post on Body Mind Soul, magazine Facebook, it did mention that you are the very first practicing lawyer that is practicing under your preferred gender. Can you just share a little bit of your stories? How you evolve?
Well, so far, to be fair with you, I don't know yet another practicing lawyer who is trans like me. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for them, but I don't know yet. So this story happened in 2016, April. Basically, I met with the what we call it, the executive of the bar council, and I basically told them that I was already changing, and I affirm my preferred gender as male. And I said, I mean, at the time I just started hormone therapy, so I told them that I'm already looking quite with back then, because I was a lesbian, so I'm already looking quite tomboyish or butch as they call it. Imagine when I settle more into my male look as my body changes, and I don't want to make women uncomfortable. At the time I already knew I was making women uncomfortable when I go to the female toilet, especially in court. So I said, "Wow, imagine in the years to come, maybe everyone will feel uncomfortable." And I told them that I felt the need to practice peacefully and to also practice with peace, and not peacefully, but basically I wanted to do the best for my clients, and I felt I wouldn't do that if I was still female, because I knew my true self was not female. So I remember the president was like so inspiring. He told me he supported me, and he said that I wouldn't have a problem. So if anything, just let them know. But basically, that has been my history, and 4 years later, I'm still here,
That's nice. And you know what, Jean, I have a lot of LGBT friends around me, but I never know the umbrella of LGBT is LGBTIQA. All right. So, and I remember when you were explaining it to me, I was so, I mean, I would say I learned so much. So I'm sure a lot of us out there don't even know or don't even understand, might not even understand the term of LGBTIQA. What does it stand for? So, Jean, share with us a little bit, like how you explain it to me. I was so fascinated by it that I in a way, I learned a lot, to be honest, because I have friends, but I never truly understand things a little bit more detailed. Can you just share with us what LGBTIQA stands for?
Okay. I'll break it down to as layman as possible. But basically, LGBTIQA plus. It's actually last time it used to be just LGBT, and now it's
That's what I remember.
Exactly. So because the community wants to be as inclusive as possible, and so L obviously is lesbian, which was what I was. Gay, G is for gay, B is bisexual, T is transgender, which is what I am. I is intersex. So intersex, for those who don't know, is someone who is born with two sets of genitalia, so both female and male. Q is for queer or questioning. So there are a lot of people who don't feel that they fit in, like they don't wish to identify as trans or bi or gay. They rather they prefer to be identified as queer. So then, of course, the alternative is questioning. So these are like, for example, those especially young ones or even mature people who realize they've got feelings, of maybe they might be a trans, or maybe they might like girls more than guys if they were female. So their experience would be like they prefer to call themselves questioning. They are not yet identifying as a lesbian or as a what do you call it, transgender.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought queer is equivalent to gay until you explain it to me during our discussion. That's only when I really know, wow, I know so little about it. So thank you very much for sharing this with us. Yeah.
Sure. Well, to be fair, I'm still learning myself, Christina. So like it's supposed to be a learning curve. But anyway, A is for asexual. So it's those people or those group of people or individuals who actually don't feel connected with physical intimacy. So they don't wish or desire to have a relationship where there's a physical intimacy part, and basically what they want to do is that they are very happy to have relationships with others, but it's just the physical intimacy has to be taken out completely.
Understand. So I hope all the audience out there who wants to know more about the umbrella community or the rainbow community, right? This serve a very good explanation to all of us that, you know what, this is what they are. But then is there a special or specific address to the questioning community, if, come from a very respecting perspective?
Yeah, I like what you said there. To be fair with you, I cannot give my personal view. I remember a friend of mine recently shared with me. He just came out, so he shared with me this like a book. It's like I won't say it's but it's like a encyclopedia of. I use the word encyclopedia very loosely, yeah. But it's an encyclopedia of how to address the LGBTIQA plus. What kind of questions, what tone you should use. What is the correct way of addressing them. I thought that was wonderful. So it was prepared in US by this institution or organization called GLAAD. So very, very famous LGBT advocacy and basically support group, and they issued, like I said, this, I call it like an encyclopedia because it's quite a reading, and it was wonderful because the language I liked was very current. And it talked a lot, not just about words, it's also about how you ask. Like, for example, some people ask, a lot of people, when I first came out, a lot of people, even relatives, asked me stuff about my genitals. And I was like, do you want me to ask you about your genitals? I mean, that's not very respectful, so, but he didn't quite understand. So, it's things like that. It's not about what to say. And also I think for transgenders at least and non-binary people, a lot of them, like myself, we get told that we shouldn't ask, we are not entitled, or we shouldn't ask other people to address us in our preferred identification. So that is not a very for me, at least I always try to put myself in the other person's shoe. If you want full respect and acknowledgement from me, I don't think it's wrong for me to ask for the same thing,
Okay, so I guess on the basis is, as long as you stand on the other person's shoe and think of whether that question will make you feel comfortable or not before we ask, I guess that is the mutual respect. And that is all the, today the talk, right, Jean, it's all about, really creating that love awareness to all of us that is living on earth, right? That is why the topic is so beautiful, growing a family with LGBTIQA child, because you yourself, you have a lot of story and a lot of tips that you will share with the viewers. So all the viewers, do stay tuned with us, because Jean will go into all the juicy story in a bit. But before that, Jean, I will just pick out one comment over here. Hey, Jean, your king is watching and you're making me proud. So your king is watching. Is that Wakanda forever? All right. And we have Ching also saying, thanks for doing this. And yeah, so Jean, I want to zoom in to your grown up a little bit more. When did you kind of start realize that you are someone special?
Thanks for using that word. It's very nice. I'm sorry for those who have heard this story before, but there's only one version of it. So I remember I was somewhere around 5 years old, and there used to be this cartoon called He-Man.
So I love He-Man. Hey, He-Man is not Thunderbird, right? Thundercat, right? No, it's different.
Okay, so there was also Thundercats, but the one that did it for me was He-Man. Okay. Me and my sister, we were raised by my dad's parents, and we used to watch a lot of cartoons. So I remember one day I was watching He-Man, even though he had like an orange kind of
yeah,
which was like, I don't know, but this outlook of him with all his muscles. And I was so young. I really remember I was about 5 because I had not yet gone to Tadika. So and I looked at the TV and I was like, hey, I want to be like him, you know. And then I realized that feeling always stuck, you know. But I didn't know that time there was a word called transgender. I didn't know I was one. I just thought I'm just this little kid who wants to be a man. A man, he does it. And that was basically my thought process, you know. Yeah. So that was my first time lah. And then later on, I have to admit lah, my life was influenced by a lot of cartoon and TV shows. So then like there's things like King Arthur, Superman. I was a huge comic geek, you know, X-Men. You know, so growing up, I realized that was very constant.
It's but like you constantly feel like you want to be that male superhero rather than the female superhero in all the comic or all the cartoon that you're watching.
Yeah, I mean,
it just comes very naturally to you, right?
Yes, and okay, and to be frank with you, like closer to home, I look at my both parents. I like my sister who loved to take my mom's earrings to wear when she was a kid. I never had that. I more like wanted my dad's tie and the way he hold his wine glass, and you know, he was walking with his, because he was working for a bank, so it was like just the way he was, you know. And I was like, yeah, I want that. I don't want, like, I think my mom's beautiful, but I don't want to be like that, you know. You know. So that was. Today, a lot of people say I act like him. I got his energy curl, or his. I'm so much like him. So I guess, you know, I manifested very early lah.
Yeah, okay. I hold you there for a while, Jean. I'm going to pull out a shout out. Pink Dot Singapore, much love from Pink Dot in Singapore. Pink Dot, thank you very much for supporting this and supporting Body Mind Soul magazine live talk as well. Good hello and good hi to all of you there over in Singapore as well. So let us together collectively create a world that filled with more love, more hope, you know, more positivity. I believe that is why we are here, to raise this awareness together with Jean Michael Tan over here. And Jean is a very dear friend to me personally, and you know, we joke a lot, but that kind of joke, it cannot come live on air. So I'm holding my tongue a lot of time because you and I, we are so easy going into our own zone. So let's not go there. But Jean, fast forward a little bit. I remember during our discussion, you first thought that you were lesbian rather than trans, and there was an episode where you have to come out to your parents. I mean, we fast forward to that and share a little bit so that, you know, anyone who is watching it, anyone who is now thinking whether they should or should not, it might be an inspiration, and perhaps from there you can also share your tips as well.
Okay. Well, firstly, coming out as a lesbian was really hard because I was born to a Christian family, a religious family, and I'm Asian, and I'm the eldest, and my father is the eldest. There's all this, like, you know, social, I think that it's like silent clear expectation. I don't know if it makes sense. All this labeling carried weight, you know.
The society stereotype, put it this way.
Correct.
Yeah. It's not just applicable to LGBTIQA, applicable to men, applicable to women specifically as well. Everyone, the society has kind of like unsaid mutual understanding how women should behave, how men should behave, you know, things like that, right?
Correct. You know, and basically, when I was growing up, one of the things I used to hear is that, you know, LGBT, with my religion, you know, and as an Asian, you know, is that LGBT is like against, you know, it's like immoral, you know. All these things are like, I was given a painting like LGBT equals evil, you know. So then the problem is, I realized around 12, 13, so because this show called, what do you call it, the L Word came out, and wow, you know, it changed a lot of people's lives, you know, including mine. So then I thought, that's me, you know, that's me. And then I didn't realize there's one trans character, but it was kind of like I was so swept up by the other characters, you know. So then I entered into a relationship when I was in university. After I finished my studies, I entered into a relationship with this person, and she kind of helped me like, okay, this is actually real law, and also I had another relationship before that with someone who told me, actually what I am liking girls is not wrong. And believe it or not, I was in UK for like 4.5 years, but I came out only in the third year. So that's how difficult it was. Like I left Malaysia, you think it would be easy, like I would paint the town with, rainbow flag and everything, but it didn't happen for me like that. I felt like I didn't want to admit this because I felt part of what I used to hear is how we would get thrown out by our parents, yeah, and how we would be rejected. And already I grew up hearing I'll be rejected, because it's not me being rejected, but LGBT is rejected, yeah. So when I came out to my parents, because I had a relationship with this girl, like I said, and my parents flew all the way to UK because they suspected, well, they were at the time I was going through an exam, so they were very scared about my exams, but they actually also want to see whether I'm in a relationship with a girl. They suspected. So they came over, and it was so dramatic because it happened just after I finished my retake finals. So I had failed my finals, so this was a retake. And it was like, I felt like my dad asked me more than I came up to him. So he was the one who made the first step, and he said, are you in a relationship with this girl? So I went like, I remember I was like, I just felt like, okay lah, whatever happened, like, what can I do, right? I'm already so scared already. I also had like so much emotional problems when I was younger, because of my LGBT and because I was bullied. So at that time, I just like, okay lah, die long, just tell long. And when I told him, at first it was so tension. It was like, really, I thought it was a say. I don't know, like I really thought it was like our relationship, my parents was like really bad lah. Because my mom was so upset. My dad was quiet but upset. I could see he's upset. Then my mom and my dad came to stay with me in my room that time, in university. So it's like a single bedroom. It's not big, but big enough for two sleeping bags on the floor. So me and my dad slept on the floor, and my mom was on my bed lah. So I went back to my room. I was actually so sad. I was crying. I remember I did cry lah, but then after I stopped crying, I fell asleep, I think. But then tiba-tiba, I remember it was like, I know it's in the middle of the night somewhere. And my dad,
just to let everyone know, tiba-tiba is suddenly.
Oh, sorry, I'm Malaysian. Sorry, so suddenly, I woke up because I could feel someone hugging me. Yeah, I heard someone crying. Then I realized, it's my dad crying and hugging me. And he was just like, he said like, it's okay, whatever it is, I still love you. And
wow,
like that, Lord. And it was cold, but trust me, Lord, his heart made a lot of difference, Lord. So
wow,
that came out.
Yeah. Wow. And it's not, I would say I really admire and has a lot of respect and adore your parents. Yeah. A lot of times, as a child, don't even talk about LGBTIQA, just us, right? There are things that we wish to do. And a lot of times you just wish that, what if your parents don't support you? What if your parents don't approve it? What if your parents feel that this is not the right thing to do? And when our parents say, like, whatever you wish to do, whatever you want to create your life with, go ahead, as long as you are happy, we are here. That makes such a huge difference, right? So, Jean, I believe in that whole process, what you have done is you were very, very honest and with courageous to face your own fear. Because when your father just suddenly, tiba-tiba, right, suddenly flew over there and asked you that question, you have a choice to run away, right? You have a choice to kind of ignore it, correct? Can I say that way?
I mean,
but at that
right.
at that point of time, you were like, whatever it is, come what may, let's just express it. Yeah. I'm in a relationship with a girl and she's my girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean to be frank with you, the first time I came out, I came out of fear. But the second time I came out, because you see, after I done the whole coming out as a lesbian, I really was like, okay, this is it, I'm a lesbian for life. Even though I knew actually still something not right. Actually, I knew already still, but I didn't want to know. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I and someone when you read law and you then learn to take care of the profession, you have the access to read about law, and how they treat people, and only that how the reality is, and then you do legal aid work. So then when I learned that I was trans, trust me, the last thing I wanted to do was come out, because I kept thinking about what I done to my parents, in class, and the pain I caused them. So it's like, the first time I really repressed for don't know how long. Then the second time I repressed for a while. So it really actually messes you up psychologically, because you're thinking like, I want to make my parents proud and please them, but I'm not being myself. And it's like, yeah. So the second time I came out, to be frank, I felt it was very different, because I felt that like I used like a letter to come out to them the second time. So the second time I felt the foundation I had wasn't so much like, it was a lot of fear, but it was very different, because at the time I already started meditation and going for mindfulness classes. And my auntie came into my life. She's one of the practitioners here, Beatrice Lee.
She's currently the managing director of the Golden Space Malaysia.
Yeah, I don't say that, but so she was the one who I used to go to her classes to learn how to forgive myself and forgive my parents when I thought they weren't accepting me. When I thought they rejected me and abandoned me, when I thought the church had abandoned me. She was the one, because she had also she's not LGBT, but she had gone through a very tough time being who she is. And she told me love will win everything. Now, don't care whether they agree with you or disagree with you, or even they don't realize that they're hurting you. You have to love them back and you have to forgive. And she showed me how to just acknowledge this part of myself. She said, you are a man. You already know yourself. You have to live the rest of your life with truth. She actually scolded me one time. She said, you want to continue this pain, So I wrote a letter, and I think, you see, having that support alone helped me come out again the second time, which produced also a very loving moment, because my dad was so cute. He wrote me an email. So I wrote to...
Wait. You wrote letter.
I wrote a letter.
So how many pages is your letter, man?
I know definitely, me being very Chonghei means long-winded. I'm going to attest to that. So I definitely know it's about 2-3 pages long, and just like it's like flat lah, banje lah, flat all come out, and all this time blah blah blah. It's not easy letter to receive. For my parents. Then I remember I put my saliva stick on the stamp and then sent to the post, and then it's like so nervous, Because believe it or not, even though they already accepted me for being lesbian, I still scared that they would reject me for being a trans person. And then to get that email back from my dad one day, he said I read your letter. We read your letter. And he will still say this, he always said I don't agree with what you do, but I'll still love you. You're my child.
Wow.
So and he will always tell me he will never agree totally with what I do, but I'll still be his loved one, which has been repeated since by other relatives, after I came out by myself to them. And I think what was the most interesting thing about it is that, can you imagine, I came out second time, but just seeing his email, I just poured out so much of my tears and my heart alone in my car. Had to be raining some more, and that's what parents can do, they can affect you so much when they love you,
Yeah.
Some more if you're LGBT, can you imagine just that one sentence, I totally recognize you. Can you imagine what you can do now?
Yeah. It really, it really brings us to a point where really, just love. It carries so much of weight. It carries so much of energy per se. It carries so much of wisdom. It carries so much of, it's just beyond words to me as you speak. Jean, this is the second time I listened to this story, because when we are doing our pre-run, discussing, you told me this story before, and it really bring out that feeling, parents' unconditional love towards their children makes a huge, huge impact on the child's life. And I just want to pull this out again to kind of like recap everything, where I love the fact that, Jean, you acknowledge yourself and your emotions, and you do your best to digest all the emotions that you had before your second time come out. Because your first time come out, I'm sure it comes with a lot of wounds that you carry forward, right? A lot of emotions that you have yet to digest. Like you say, first come out, it comes with a lot of fears, because at that point of time, you were kind of like being confronted by your parents. It's not by choice that you chose to do that. But the second round, and because of Auntie Bets, your auntie, have been encouraging you, really guiding you through where you come to as well, Golden Space, and this is where we know each other as well. And that's where you acknowledge yourself and your emotion, acknowledge your emotion. At the same time, again, you have to be honest and be courageous to face your fear, which is at that point of time, the fear of hurting your family and your parents. Right? But I just want to have a quick shout out to all the parents here. If your children who are LGBTIQA and happen to share this video with you, listening to me and also Jean, I wish that, that you understand the support without judgment, that support of unconditional love from you as a parents to them. It really make a huge difference, and your, your empathy, your supports, no matter if your child is a LGBT or not, as long as parent, your support towards your child makes a huge impact in their life. No, you know why? Because this one I can speak on my own personal experience. My parents has been the most supportive parents ever that I can ask for. It's not easy for a parent to allow the children or me, who is the eldest, always the revolutionary person, always go against all the community or all what everyone think. When we graduated from high school, Jean, at that point of time, you and I are about the same age. When we graduated that time, right? IT and mass comm is the most famous subject that in Malaysia that you should pursue. I, for one, will go against all odds and study music. And no one knows, studying music, what can you come up with? You can only think of playing in a pub or a cafe. But no one know back then what can a music degree do. But my parents allow me to go there. And my parents has constantly, support me. And I remember, I remember during MCO, during this lockdown period, when my father said to me, girl, do whatever that makes you happy. You don't need approval from us to live whatever life that you wish, as long as your life makes you happy. Because at that point of time, Jean, I was sharing with them that I really wish to do more things for Body, Mind, Soul as well, to really spread more positivity. And they have been looking at me, watching me really go all in. So I believe this, the provide support without judgment, really, really help a lot. And Jean, I have a surprise for you, Jean. You have my mom saying hello to you, and my mom say love you. All right, and I wish to also pull out some. Yeah, Jean, Nick is saying love to you, my friend. Tracy is saying I remember the second coming out moment. I was so proud of your courage to be honest with your parents then. Siobhan is sharing all power and love to you, Jean. Yeah, there's so much love in this live talk today. And Jean, I just want to crack a joke a little bit. You wrote letter and posted to your parents, but your father wrote an email to you, why didn't you think of writing an email, or you chose to write a letter? It's like your father is more high tech than you.
He is. I will give it to him. He is. My dad knows all the high tech, there's Wi-Fi, everything. But I've always been a very classic and romantic person at heart. So I love writing letters. I love writing poems, and I still feel that writing letters is the best way because the writing is my energy. Not saying email is not. It's just this is my way of doing it.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it's just my way lah. Like I love writing love letters and stuff. I've been doing it since I was a kid, so it's just my style lah.
Yeah, I was just, and as you were sharing, right, I was like thinking, yeah, why your father will reply you on email, but you yourself go and post a letter, and that goes through a lot because you wrote the letter and you have to fold it and you have to go to the, there are a lot of times that there's a lot of kada-boom inside you rather than comparing with just email and just click send and there's no return. You get what I mean? You get what I mean, Jean? Because posting a letter, there are so many process in between that there is a turning point where you can choose, let's not do this. You get what I mean? That one, I really admire your courage, man.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
I have to admit, I would not have done it in any other way. But yeah, I wrote a letter because I actually before I was too afraid to face him to tell him. I have to admit, that's also why I wrote a letter.
I have other comments that's coming up. Siobhan, love you, Jean. And then Xiao Shai is, you want to write a letter to me? Oh, my friend is here. I still receiving postcard from Christina. Yeah. Hey, I'm also quite classy, actually. I didn't realize that. Wherever I go, I will send postcard to all my best friends. Yeah. And Siobhan is email also faster to respond fast with love. Oh yeah, yes, exactly. That's what it is. Yeah, but Jean, I'm very interesting to find out how is your relationship with your parents before and after since you came out twice.
Okay. The relationship I have right now is still in an evolutionary stage in a sense where it's like a heartbeat. There's no it's like this, it's been up and down, just like a normal heartbeat. And it's come a long way. Like my parents and my sister and I, we always say, where we've come together, it's taken a really long way to come because I empathize with my parents. And to be fair, I don't even know if I will say this right because I cannot speak for them. But I know it's been very difficult for them. My dad is religious. He's Christian. He goes to church. It's not easy, for him. And for my mom, it's not like I accept and acknowledge their pain too. And the fact that he tells me, is part of their difficulty is because they were born at a different time. And as much as I want to be authentic, they are also being authentic, They could lie. They could be all false. But while I show them my struggle, they show me their struggle, And that's why both of us, I feel, at least my family, we actually, to be frank, it's not picture perfect. It's a lot of struggle. But we see things like the time when my dad, he was trying to get rid of this kepochi guy. He's a busybody fella, He came up to my dad one day in a restaurant. I still remember it was, I think, starting of last year, and he asked my dad in front of my uncle and me, my sister, and my mom at the restaurant. He asked, "Is this your son? So good looking or something like that, lah." And then my dad said yes. Even though I know it was my dad, it's hard for him to say that I'm his son, but that one word. And this reminds me of a phrase I picked up from the latest Netflix show called Project Power. I love this line. The Jamie Foxx character said, "My word is my power." So I don't know if my dad ever really realized, but that one word he said, "Yes, it's my son." Even though he was trying to get rid of the kipochi, it was so powerful to me. It brought healing to me for my own satisfaction because I've been through a lot, and I can tell all LGBT parents this. Actually, the child doesn't want, like, honestly, a huge inheritance. They don't really want a big house. One of my I love doing is, honestly, like, for example, buying croissants for my dad and my mom because they're very quality when it comes to their food. They're very picky about their food. And I love sometimes how when my dad and I are in the right mood and we hug each other, just to feel his energy when I hug him. And him to call me by the name I choose, him, my mom, and for my mom to cook, tapao and cook food for me, vegetarian food for me, even though she's not vegetarian. It's the little simple things that your LGBT child wants. It's not the big things.
Mm.
And that's where my relationship with my parents are at right now. I don't know how to put that in one word because I don't think there's a one word for it, but I can tell you it's got love.
Yes, it's definitely love. I mean, what else can it be? What else can it be? Like you say, I believe none of us, even LGBT children themselves, none of us will understand how our parents go through, just like our parents doesn't understand us as well, because we are, in the end, we are all unique, we are all individual, and we all have our own mindset, our own characters as well. But when parents show us their love, their compassion towards us, and they truly embrace and accept, as well as respecting the child's choice. Like for your case is your preferred choice of gender. For my case is my preferred career. That make a huge difference in us, because with that kind of support, it really give us, like, there's a pillar inside your heart that's always there. Right? There's a shelter at home, that if anything happen outside, there's shelter at home that will welcome us back to home. Right, Jean?
Actually, to be fair, I think there's too much of conversation that when she's very funny. The minute your child becomes LGBT, suddenly your child is like a totally different person. But you really check the hair and you check the armpit and you check the trousers, still the same child. Still got probably half your features. So really the LGBT didn't change your child, you know what I mean? But the conversation is like as if okay, now my child is Tom. My child is Tom is gay. Suddenly don't know what is Tom. It's like, for me, I don't know how to put my head around it because that has been the practice towards me, and partially why I actually chose to come out the way I've come out in Malaysia and stay in Malaysia is because honestly I wanted to prove myself wrong. I know that essentially, my relatives have told me out of concern, out of love and concern, that they're scared for me. They asked me to practice or work somewhere else, apply for a job somewhere else. But I always told them that I want to stay because part of it, I want to prove my fears wrong. And
wow.
I teach, others, my clients, I said, the best way to see change is to actually face the fear. Exactly what you're afraid of, you have to go and face it. You have to go towards it, not away from it, because you might see something else. And for me, like, I don't know why they say LGBTs will create disease or whatever it is. Personally, I've never seen, like, for me, I don't even go out at night because I'm sometimes too busy working. I'm so tired. I don't drink. I don't take drugs. I don't even smoke anymore. And there are a lot of LGBTs like that. And honestly, there are a lot of honest LGBTs, children who grow up to be honest, tax-paying adults who actually at the end, they just want to provide for their parents and their families.
Like I always say, right? Like I always say, when we got cut, our blood are red.
Yeah.
No matter who you are, your blood is always red.
Yeah.
So it's the same. When we got cut as a child, when we got cut, our blood is red, right? It's the same, right? Whether we are male, female, children, adults, LGBT or not, the blood is still red. And the person who got cut, what they need is they need love, they need support, they need someone to just tender, they need just some guidance as well to walk forward or to move forward in life together like others too. But Jean, let me just stop you here a little bit. I have some comments that I want to pull out. Vivian, respect and love to you, my dear bro. And I have Ching asking some question over here. I hope you can also help as well. Jean, do you have any resources for LGBTQ parents in Malaysia who are struggling with accepting their children? Additionally, what resources do you have for a young person currently struggling with their gender identity?
Well, I know of a resource for parents, but I think for privacy purposes, you send me a text on Facebook lah, and then I'll share with you the info.
So for those who really wish to know, you can drop a text to us, Body, Mind, Soul, and we can also connect you to Jean as well. So Ching, do drop us or drop me a message. I'll connect you with the right person. Or for anyone out there who wish to really, really know more and be connected with Jean, write to us on Body, Mind, Soul magazine, and we will definitely connect you with Jean directly. And Jean is definitely agree and available to assist, right, Jean?
Yes, when I'm not sleeping lah.
Well, Jean, you know what? You did mention I wish to go a little bit, a little bit slightly divert from our topic today, which focus on building a family, right? I believe your message towards parents as well as the children who are currently, or a young person who are currently struggling with gender identity or struggling with whether to come out or not, you have given your fair share of your personal view and your personal experience. The first thing is all of us need to have courage to truly face our fear. But speaking so, it's always easier said than done. And I understand that there were phases where you were in depression. Can we also address this? Because I believe depression is not just specifically to any certain group, but it's also to a lot of us now who are moving forward in our current life. It's a very high pressure society that we live in. But what happened to you and what changes you in your depression period?
Well, I started getting depressed when I was 8 years old. See, for the longest time, I didn't know why. And I didn't know why suddenly at 8, I started eating a lot to comfort myself. I was isolated, and I unfortunately, I don't have the young person story where I had a good childhood or good, not say childhood, but school life, okay? Last year, I found out, and I've checked this with my psychologist and with my friends, right? There's such a thing called lost memory or buried memory, something of that word. And I found out when I was 7, I remembered that when I was 7, I was molested in school by a male classmate. So I believe that I developed problems. And to me, actually, honestly, when I remembered this, it was a relief, but it was very painful. I remember when I remembered it, the first thing I felt I needed to do was cry to my sister, because it was like, I can't believe it. I actually am one of those kids now, And but it explained why I started being alone at 8 years old, and I was bullied for like my name. They used to make fun of my name. And they used to make fun I was fat. And this lasted until I was 17 years old. So until I left school, honestly, the last year of my school, all I did was just participate in as many activities as possible. And just get as many ticks. There's like this award thing, a scheme, where if you I became an editor of the yearbook, I became some president or leader in a journalist club. I did everything because I felt like the last like almost 10 years of my school life meant nothing because I was so depressed
Mm.
and I was bullied, you know. And one time I even asked one of the bullies who have been bullying me for years. I asked her, I said, why do you guys all bully me? You know, she was alone. And she said she didn't know, you know. And
Mm.
I don't have another memory. So for almost 10 years, I've never known why I was bullied. But everything like they took my name, my weight, I felt so ugly and yeah, you know. And so that was years of depression. And then and then when you go off to college, it doesn't like leave you, you know. When you go off to college, you say because it doesn't quite like okay, I forget. And I really don't like people who say to people who have been depressed, just forget about it, just get over it. I really can't stand it because hello, depression is not like people choose and like, hey, I want to be depressed, you know. It doesn't work like that. So I really can't stand, especially the adults who say to others like, hello, get over your depression. Hello, don't be so emo. Are you serious? It's not like I wanted to wake up one day and just not get out of bed. And it became so bad. Like I used to like not get out of bed for the whole weekend. I would close the curtains and just not come out of my bed. I wouldn't eat. I drink water and go toilet. That was in the UK.
Mm.
And then unless you get help and therapy, so thank God today the mental health profession is so much more
Open
open and not
and
open.
create a lot of awareness.
Thank God for that.
Collectively, everyone is creating a lot of awareness, and
Yeah,
also everyone has. I would say collectively around us, there are more compassionate human beings living around, and
yeah,
everyone is kind of like checking on each other because it
yeah.
becomes it kind of like becomes a new norm in a way, right? But Jean, what did you chose to do at your lowest point of your depression?
Hmm. Which
That is
time?
a that was a turning point.
Well, I think for me, I had the worst point was when you want to commit suicide. No? Like the first time, even first time talking about it in front of in our retreat. You know, you weren't there, but in our retreat in Phuket, the first time I talked about it, man, I cried just talking about what I had tried to do in 2015. You know, it's the second time I wanted to commit
And
suicide.
your life, yeah.
Yeah, because it was. You see, depression is something where you cannot tell a person that your emotions don't matter. It's not like something you just want to reduce. It's so overwhelming, and the LGBT thing did not help. You know, it was like, where do I belong? And do I? And then when I come back to Malaysia, actually, I didn't want to come back to Malaysia because, like I said, I had all these fears about LGBTs in Malaysia. You know, and when I came back to Malaysia and started practice, it wasn't like very easy. You know, I came back during a recession in 2008. You know, and you know, it was trying to find my place. You know, and I felt the depression became worse because I just felt like I was losing my place in this earth, you know. And the first time I felt like committing suicide, okay, firstly, thank God I had my psychologist. But even when I was doing therapy, I started getting suicidal, not because she was ineffective, it was just there was so much going on, right? And I found out that I started calling her like when I was under the bed or when I was having panic attacks. I didn't know that there's such a thing called. So I learned all these things from her, and she would give me coping mechanisms. But the thing is that there was a lot going on. There was too
Mm.
much going on, and I just didn't know how to get out of it myself. And the first time I wanted to commit suicide was right next to my father while he was giving me a pep talk. I just don't know why I was not taking it very well, and I wanted to jump out of the car while he was driving. And I
Mm.
just wanted the car to hit me. And I
Mm.
think honestly, if I did not love my dad enough, I probably would have done something really stupid. Lor. But as soon as got out of the car and away from him, the first thing I did was call a friend, and then I called my psychologist. And just the funny thing is that when you're depressed, you're always crying, and it's always dark. And even till today, it's still painful to talk about it, you know. And the second time was in Publica 5 years ago, and you know, whenever I see Tracy's name, or whenever, like, you know, uh, you know, when
Brother, it's okay to cry, brother.
So in 2015, I had a very bad argument with my then business partner. So I knew the business partnership was going to end, and I felt like such a failure, honestly. I felt like I failed totally. I felt like I failed financially, in life, as a person, you know. And that was like, it was like, because it was so dark, my head was so dark, it felt like it was the light. And I remember climbing up floors in Publica, and each time I climb up, it's because I look down, and I would see like, hey, it's not high enough. I don't want to break my leg. I want to die, you know. So I'll climb another floor up, and then before I jump, I actually heard that I should call Tracy, and I would say this story like this lah, because Tracy was not my best at that time. Was not my best friend, and she was just a ex-PA of an ex-client. So can you imagine? There's no like real
Connections.
Yeah. So I don't know why I called her, but thank God I did. And she just, like I said, like, my words are power. My power. She used her words to just calm me down and make me wake up. And now she's my best friend and my business partner. She helps me run my firm and the heart-based group. And just the thought of her sometimes makes me cry, because I always tell her that she saved me, you know, and she also knows, you know, that if it weren't for her, I think I always believe that. I always say, joke, there's my life before Tracy and my life after Tracy, you know. And of course, Auntie Bets, my auntie, came along the way. She was already in the picture, but I think it was the Tracy lah. And then of course, after that told myself, you know, I never want to go down that road again. I never want to kill myself again. So I told myself, okay, if I start talking about myself and becoming trans, there's all these things that are going to happen, yeah. But you know what? I've even joked about it. I said I was shit at killing myself. You know, I myself succeed at living. So let's see how this goes now and see how far I can take it. Yeah.
And you know, Jean, I know it's not easy for you to share what you have shared. Your name is Jean Michael Tan. Your name is Jean Michael Tan. Last week, I have another Michael that was sharing with us about his journey, how he walked through the grief of losing his son, and he teared in the life. And today, I have another Jean Michael, another Michael per se, you know, sharing something that truly from heart, and something that is not easy, but take courage to share, with only one thought, that in view of hoping this will inspire, this will help, and this will also show as an example that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah. So I just want to, you know, thank you, Jean, for sharing what you have shared. And I'm so glad that you follow your heart at that point of time, to call Tracy. And I believe I just pull it out while you are talking, you know, call someone, if any one of you out there who are struggling, who are struggling with your emotions, who are struggling to know what you're doing, and, you know, a lot of overwhelming feeling, call someone that you feel safe. Find a positive place or person, you know, like Jean found Tracy, as well as his Auntie Bets, you know, and it's okay to seek for help sometimes, seek for the right help as well, especially. And I believe one of the things that you did share with me during our discussion was constantly check yourself. Can you explain a little bit more about this, Jean? Constantly constantly check yourself?
Well, so my understanding of this, because this is something I learned and I applied to myself. So my understanding will change, yeah, of this. So my current practice is, which I started a very long time ago, is just like one way of doing it is meditation. So a very long time ago, for some reason, somebody told me that, oh, meditation is against my religion, and I'm like, huh? Okay, how? You know? So why I say I share the story is because meditation for me was, especially as a lawyer, when I first started meditation, wow, I cannot understand why anyone would do meditation, because you are asking a lawyer, a corporate person, to sit down for at least 5 minutes and not think about work. So I couldn't do that, and but meditation has become one way to check in with myself. So, for example, like every day, or at least the best that I can, especially in the morning, I love the morning time. I'll just sit down, I'll take my meditation pillow, and I'll do my prayers, because that's my way of, like, you know, opening myself up to the universe. And I will just talk to myself. I'll quiet my mind. Of course, honestly, it's not like you get good at it first time. You need help. So I'm so glad I had you guys and Golden Space at the beginning, because it's like a baby wanting to walk. You know, sometimes you just need the parent to support their hands for a while to help them walk. But then after all, you can do by yourself already. You know. So that was one way of doing it. Second thing is checking myself with, like, writing. So, so I love, like I said, I love writing, and ever since I was a kid, I always had journals, right? And I realized every time I change, my writing will change. So
Mm.
I have to admit, I don't like to read my past writings. I don't know why I have a problem with it, but I always notice when I start to write, I start to, like, sign all the words in your head. When they go down to paper, you're like, hey, why am I thinking like this? Like, why? You know, and why journaling helps is because I feel I can at least have a place where I can go to and just pour out myself, and it's a safe place, right? So, but then I always feel that sometimes checking in with yourself also means checking with someone who's positive, someone who's a good support. Like, for
Mm.
example, I love checking in with Tracy. Tracy, honestly, I call her my silver cup, and she knows what I mean by that. My steel cup. So she's like, basically, like, she knows that I will call all the freaking time, right? And I'll just like, babe, am I doing this? Babe, are you okay? Am I doing it right? Babe, babe, babe. So she'll know, like, babe, 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 and because she has been my rock, and I think everyone in Golden Space, everyone in my life knows how I need her lah. So she's one place I check in with. So the
Mm.
difference, I don't check in with her to get her approval. I just check in with her to see, like, hey, am I, like, saying it in the way that people understand it? Because words have power, and communication, if you do it right, when I say do it right, I don't mean the perfect word. I mean, it's the tone, it's the
Mm.
way, it's the intention. Tracy taught me, you communicate not for yourself. Yes, of course, you want to say something, but you communicate for the receiver to understand. Because if you say whatever you say in your head and the receiver don't understand, it's as good as you not saying anything.
Mm.
And this is something that would benefit a lot of families, parents, children, corporates especially. Because it's as simple as, like, you wake up in the morning and imagine you come downstairs and your parents say good morning, I love you. Or your romantic partner, before you walk out, or your romantic partner says, I love you, have a good day. Wow, your heart also like, bang, bang, like, come big. Or you go into an office, like, we're so careful in the office about how we treat each other, our colleagues and our team, you know. And I always also, if I scold my staff, I will try to make sure that I don't scold them about their personality. It's just about their work.
I,
Because
I like the fact that, you know what, your constantly check on yourself. You have a few tips to that you have shared with the crowd, where First is write journal. Second is meditation. And I would say the mindfulness meditation has a lot to do with reflection. It has
Yes,
to do
correct.
with reflection, right? And the third one, you have a safe person, in a way, a person that you feel safe to cross-check with. At the same time, Jean, you know what? We kind of like have a lot to talk more, but the time is quite short. And for all those who resonate with Jean's story, right? Especially if you are in depressions, over here at Body Mind Soul, I wish to share this with everyone as well, that we also, under Body Mind Soul, if you go to bodymindsoul.com.my, you will see a tab is Dear Sarah, where you can write in to Dear Sarah directly via our website. And you can I have my admin to scroll down a little bit? And if you feel you need an outlet to truly share, or you just want a safe space to talk with, this is one of it that we really wish that Sarah can help you. Sarah is someone that is anonymous, because
Yeah.
she chose not to be in front of the camera. Yeah, she chose not to be in front of the camera. She said it's better that I am anonymous, so that anyone wrote to me, they feel safe as well. So I really wish that, anyone out there who wish to, if you are not a person that prefer to talk on phone, right? You might not. You might be like Jean that prefers to write. You can write to Dear Sarah, and Dear Sarah, Sarah is always here to support you. And you know what, Jean, I have a message from Tracy to you. I'm grateful that you called me that day, because it truly changed things for us. And I believe it's God's plan for us, because look at the gift you are to the world. You saved me as much as I've saved you. And I love you very much, my dear best friend. It's been a pleasure to have journeyed with you till now. I have Ching sending me a message as well. Thank you for doing this, Christina. You were the first relative I came out to more than 10 years ago. I think it's more than 15 years ago. And I'm so happy to see you hosting this talk. And thank you to Jean for humanizing the trans community when the mainstream media in your both Singapore and Malaysia will not, by sharing your personal story and struggles. I'm sure this talk will leave a lasting and long impact on parents who have tuned in today. Yeah, so thank you very, very much to all the viewers. And thank you, Jean, for your authenticity and for being so courageous in sharing this issue today from Vivian as well. So Jean, any last tips before we end our live talk today? I know there are much more to talk about, and I wish one day we can also have you back again to continue our conversation as a part 2. But what is it that if that one final takeaway that you really wish for parents, one, and for the children or the young person who are currently walking the same path as you?
Yeah, I actually do have one. I want to share this tip. Love your child and love your parents. Love is kind, it's patient, and it's very slow to anger. Heal your family with love.
Wow, that is so beautiful. I got goosebumps, Jean. Thank you, Jean, so much. And let me see. Yeah, Siobhan is saying thank you, Jean, to you as well. Okay, so all the boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, all our rainbow community out there, thank you so much for tuning in. Some of you has been sitting with us since the very beginning until the end. I hope that today talk inspire you, not just the positivity and the hope, but let you feel the love that we wish to share as well. And to all the parents out there, tune back if you have missed the front part. There are a lot more of sharing and things that Jean have shared with us. But to all of us here, I also wish to share that next week, if I'm not mistaken, 19th of September. On the 19th of September, we have our regular workshop on each magazine, Being the Light You Are. Yeah, so this will also help as well, or maybe give a different perspective to all of us here who are going through certain things, or who are doubting ourselves, or who wish to face your inner fear or your shadows. This will be the best to transform us from that to being the light we are. And with that, I would truly, truly wish to end our talk here, that love is the bridge between you and everything. It kind of like sums up what Jean have said it out just now. Love is the bridge between you and everything. So before that, Jean, goodbye to you, and goodbye to all the viewer out there. And I'll leave the quote as the ending page for all of us. So thank you so much to all of you who are watching us for the first time. I hope to see you next week and for more to come. Yeah, so thank you. And thank you to Jean for your heartfelt sharing and your courage and your openness to truly talk through things that are, positive, negative, or whatever, so we all get a piece of it, and we all got the healing through you and through the love that we speak about. So that is all about it. Have a good weekend to all of you out there, and see you next week, same time, 2:00. Goodbye to everyone. Bye-bye.